Something sacred happening on the planet right now, and it's bigger than personal healing. It's timeline correction. It's the collapse of distorted systems, delusional identities, and abusive dynamics that have been allowed to thrive for far too long. And for those of us who came here to anchor truth, this is our time. We weren't sent to destroy people, we were sent to dismantle illusion. We're correcting the storylines that were built on spiritual bypassing, generational denial, and narcissistic self-preservation. We're collapsing the parts of reality that were never rooted in love, not for vengeance, but for restoration, for realignment, for the sake of the new world being born. The return of Christ isn't what you were taught. The church taught us to wait for a man in the sky. But what if the return of Christ was never meant to be a singular external event? What if the return of Christ is actually an inner resurrection, a personal ascension into higher consciousness, unique to each person, each soul, each timeline? No one knows the hour or the day because that moment is different for everyone. You don't schedule your awakening. It arrives when your soul is ready to remember what love actually is. And when that happens, the old world falls apart. The collapse isn't cruelty, it's a correction. So what happens to them? To the people who harmed us? To the ones who chose the false self over soul? They collapse. Not because we wish them harm, but because their structure was never built to withstand truth. Their collapse is the soul finally confronting the lies it constructed to survive. The mask can no longer hold, the strategies no longer work. The people they used to manipulate are now walking in clarity, and their energy no longer sticks. The collapse is not about punishing them, it's about removing the scaffolding that was propping up the lie. What the collapse looks like? Well, here's what typically happens when the false self begins to fall. Cognitive dissonance becomes unbearable. They can't reconcile the image they protect with the realities others now see. This leads to paranoia, lashing out, image obsession, or total withdrawal. Relationships crumble. Their web of control frays. Enablers begin to pull away. The energy they once used to charm and confuse now repels. The mirror turns inward. Without someone else to blame, they're left alone with the truth, and they either break through or spiral deeper. The system around them cracks. Family roles shatter. Religious justifications collapse, and suddenly the entire structure that upheld their behavior begins to unravel. And if they still refuse to surrender, they enter a loop of self-destruction until their soul chooses differently. You are the catalyst and the correction. Your healing is a disruption to the system. Your wholeness is the loudest rebellion. Your voice is what resets the timeline. Because when you no longer collapse under the pressure of their projection, when you refuse to play the role that you were cast in, when you stand in your sovereignty and truth, the illusion breaks. And the truth echoes through the bloodline, through the soul pod, and through the collective. We're not just healing, we're rebuilding the world. What we're living through now is the real return of Christ consciousness. It's not about one Savior. It's about millions of us waking up and becoming what He taught. It's about restoring what was lost, correcting what was distorted, and embodying a love so true, so anchored, and so holy that it cannot be manipulated or mistaken. This isn't revenge, it's resurrection. The systems are falling, the masks are slipping. And for those of us who have eyes to see, we were made for this.